Good morning and Happy New Year. Welcome to the first episode of 2021 Ask Elly Intuitive Insights and Your Questions Answered. And I am your hostess, Elly Molina. For those of you who are new to the podcast, I am a former educator and I'm still educating, but not in the formal sense of being in a classroom any longer. So I'm an educator, I'm an intuitive. I do not really enjoy being called psychic because we all have psychic ability, and the word has been misrepresented all during the ages. So until our society comes up with a new understanding of the word psychic, let's just leave it as intuitive. And I'm also an author and consultant. And so, good morning for Eva. Good morning for Thomas for entering into today's call. I'm so happy to be here with you. 2021, new insights, new ways of being. And I've got a pretty interesting I've got an excellent, interesting topic. Oh, Guten Tag from Germany. Guten Tag, wie geht's? We've got a listener from Germany. How exciting. This means we're international, everybody. Okay. And I just love this. And I love being here with you today. It makes me really happy. And so we've got an interesting topic today. One of our listeners sent in a question. It's all about finding our voice and learning how to speak up and what will it take to speak up. And this is such a fascinating topic because it's so deep. And so I'm going to start. And good morning, Bunty143. Thank you for joining and entering today. Once I finish this little intro, if anybody has questions, feel free to submit. One of the reasons I found this question so appropriate, I mean, you just can't plan these things any better, is that this question is about communication. And if anybody is looking at what's happening in astrology right now, well, you're going to realize that Mercury is going direct in Aquarius on January 8th. And Mercury is the planet of self-expression. It is the planet of finding our truth. It's the planet of speaking up. So could this have been a better topic for Mercury going into Aquarius? So I don't think so. And so with Mercury going into Aquarius in the next 2 weeks and 2 weeks only, and I'll talk a little bit about that in a second, with Mercury going into Aquarius, we're going to want to communicate. So things are going to want to move very quickly. We're going to want to speak our minds. We're going to want to say something. It will feel as if information is being channeled to us during the Mercury in Aquarius period. Now, sadly, Mercury is going retrograde during this month. And when Mercury goes retrograde, it just means that there can be a lot of miscommunication happening in our thoughts, our intentions. So we just want to, be prepared for the Mercury retrograde because it enters its first retrograde in 2021. It actually enters on January 30th. So that gives us at least a good 1, 2, 3, almost 4 weeks of really taking advantage of Mercury in Aquarius, speaking our truths, getting all this truth sorted out for us during 2021. I don't want to get political over here, but there's been just so much misinformation and so many people not speaking their truths to us that we finally learning to speak our own truths are going to find it especially refreshing. And that is exactly where I'm going to go today in this first question that I got. So the first question that was sent in to me this morning was, Happy New Year. How do I overcome my fear of speaking up? And what tools are available to find my voice? So I want to thank you, RC, for sending that in out of New York. And I just want you to know something, that even though it feels as if, and this is as if, this is a seeming, it appears as if this is a problem or something that is unique to you, I just want you to know, RC, that this is not unique to you. And that is why it is a fascinating topic. So I'm going to talk a little bit about history and where we're at as in our humanity. And then I'll speak specifically about what it is that you and I and everyone listening to this podcast today can do about speaking our truths. So, speaking our truth again is not about an individual thing. Oh, I need to speak up. This is a conditioned program that goes back, not even century. This goes back hundreds of centuries. Just think back to our tribal leaders, back to ancient records where we started taking records about how humans behaved on Earth and how they interacted. And we'll find that there's always been a tribal leader. There's always been a human in charge, a head. And then everyone else had to become subservient to this person. So it is historically in, ingrained in us not to speak, because if we speak, we will be killed. And so, therefore, this is just so deeply biological right now. It is so embedded into the neural net. So, in order to survive, we have to not speak our truth. Anyone speaking their truth will be killed off. That's how it was hundreds of centuries ago. And that's how it is today. People still speaking their truth, going out in journalism, going out into the world to start to declare things that they find and see. Well, they're eliminated, aren't they? I mean, we don't have to do rocket science to know that this happens still today. So now here you are, RC, looking at wanting to speak your truth. So there are going to be so many different levels of wanting to speak your truth. First of all, know that it's not because you're insecure, and it's not because you don't have anything valid to say. So this is not personal whatsoever. Just note, this has historically been, if you speak your truth, you're going to die. So now you want to look at speaking your truth in certain circumstances. Okay, so if you're in a marriage, and you want to speak your truth, well, a couple of things are going to happen. One, your partner may stop speaking to you. Your partner may have conflict with you. Your partner may look to divorce you after you've spoken your truth for a whole lot of time. However, if you're in a marriage and you're not speaking your truth, the opposite of that will be suicide anyway. What happens is when we repress ourselves from speaking up and speaking our truth, then what will happen is that we will develop illnesses. And I do have someone who is looking to connect. So just 1 second, I will come back. I want to just interrupt because this is a live call. So I want to hear what Sakin has to say. So let's just connect with Sakin and see what's going on. Hi, good morning, Sakin. You are now live. Would you like to comment on,
Good,
share a little bit about what we're speaking about today?
okay. Good morning to you and happy New Year. And hope
Thank
you
you.
are
Same to you.
doing well. And you are saying I just enter your
You're
live
live.
broadcast and
Yes, you're
you
absolutely live. You are
yes.
being recorded. You are going out to potentially millions of people. We don't know. so, so remember that when you speak, okay?
Okay. The way you are saying and way you are provide us many important things and viewpoint is very interesting, and I'm listening that, and that is very important part for us to gaining knowledge from like you. Ask Ali.
Thank you. Thank you. I appreciate your feedback. It's not often that I get to hear someone tell me at the moment that they're appreciating this. So I do appreciate your feedback.
Okay, I'm here too so that I can also put my opinion while you are discussing the issues and some stories.
Yes,
And so I'm stay live with you. And if I'm sing, if if I feel I should say something, so I will put some light on it as well as.
absolutely. I would love that. Okay, thank you. All right. If you don't mind, I'm not going to cut you off. I'm going to leave you connected as long as you don't have any background noise. And what I'm going to do, did I say it right? Is it Sakin or Sakin or Sashin?
Sachin
Sashin.
is
Okay.
both are correct.
Okay. All right. Awesome. So I'm just going to continue where I left off. I wanted to talk a little bit more about RC and RC's speaking his or her truth. You know what? Um, you have background noise, so I'm going to disconnect you for now, but you can call in again, all right? Or just type in what you'd like. So don't
Okay,
take it personally. I'm just going to disconnect you. So thank you, thank you, thank you.
okay, thank
Oh,
you.
you know what? I can, okay, all right. Okay, I'm sorry. I hope you're still there, but you're disconnected. So you're still there. Anyway, so getting back to RC, let's talk about marriage. So if you're in a relationship and you're not speaking your truth, the things that will happen for you are that you will become more smaller and smaller in your self-confidence. You will become angrier, you will become resentful. One day you will explode, and then you'll be in the space of this, the truth will set you free. So that is one area, which would be in a relationship. Always speaking your truth is vital to your mental health and to your physical well-being. So let's take it a little bit further. So to see, well, what would it take? The question over here was, how can I overcome my fear of speaking up? Okay, let's look at what does that mean again? In what realm are you looking to speak up? If this is professionally and you want to find your voice and start speaking up professionally, well, again, two things are going to happen. You got to take the chance. You just got to step out there. And, the fear of getting killed by people disliking what you have to say or cutting you off or arguing with you is going to be a potential possibility. And that's just something, that's the price that one pays. And this is also in terms of anybody who's, who follows, look at politicians or anybody who's really out there in the public. They're always being attacked. You're never going to find 100%, a million percent. Everybody in agreement, we all love you, love you, love you. That's just not going to happen. It's not human nature. So if you're looking to speak up publicly, you got to prepare yourself. You're going to get killed there. I mean, not physically killed, of course, but you're going to have naysayers. And so that means you choose, can I overcome the fact that many people are disagreeing with me and may not like me? Do I care that this may happen? And if not, then hey, go for it. Speak up. Okay, Sation has a question, so I'm going to. Okay, call in again, please. If you could just call in, if that's not, or okay, here we go. All right. Okay, okay, you're live. Can
To
you
be
hear me?
asked,
You're yeah. Mm-hmm.
yeah, I want to ask you one question. Don't
Uh-huh.
take it personally, or don't. If I'm saying a truth of my life, and if you feel I'm not good, it's fine. I don't bother about it. But whatever I am. Actually, what is in that I want to ask you your honest opinion about it. Like that, if I relation with someone, okay, and eventually after the some time, after the 1 or 2 year, I fall in love with someone else, okay.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
So okay, I'm not able to giving my 100% to whom with I am. I want to be break up. And it is right or wrong, I don't feel so. What should we do in this situation? And sometimes we saying I'm doing wrong thing or not. That is the situation might be coming with many people, and they don't want to. Sometimes you are feeling are changed in some time of period, and you eventually attract with someone else. How to handle this situation? How to set up your mindset so that it should be not be you go to the any wrong path, or what the right decision, like that. You understand
Okay.
what I mean?
I do. I
should
do.
i
I get it. I
should
get
I
it.
I can explain you or deeper, or
No, I
you can
think I
understand
understand.
till
So
here.
I think I understand. So let me just, I'll answer this for you and we'll see um, if this is what you had, if this is what you were thinking. Okay. So
No,
for
one
example,
more thing, one more thing. No, I
yes,
want to add one thing. If whom with whom you are, he deeply love you, and you, I want to win. You are not having any more feeling for her, but you are staying with her because she love you are too much. That's the only thing, and you are going. You you have not any more feeling, but you want to be move on. Only one thing is stopping that she love you only on no one for her, that also situation. But other part you should see yourself as also, how to you retain yourself for longer for how you have not more any feeling for her.
right. I get it. I get it.
Okay.
So, and thank you for that. So let's just talk about this right now because this might address a lot of other people's concerns as well. Men, let's talk about men first because you're a guy. Men have a different system than women do. I don't not look. I'm not a biologist, and so I don't know the exact facts on this. But culturally speaking, the way that women have been raised, women do not come from the space of honor and obligation the way that men come from. So men have maybe this is our cave. Maybe this is our ancestry, the way that we were designed back in the day, that men were designed to protect and provide for females against lions and tigers and bears. But today, all of that no longer really works. However, that doesn't stop the programming from still being existent. So men are very often bound by honor and obligation, meaning that they will stay in a marriage, they will stay in a relationship until quote unquote death do them part because they are bound by their honor and obligation. And then you'll find that the men who do stay in these relationships begin to shrink, meaning, you know, their masculinity no longer is the way that it was when they first met these women. They become smaller. Let's just call it like that. And I'm not talking about, you know, just even physically smaller, but it does start to have a physical component to it. A man is shrinking. That's why you hear those jokes about, oh, yeah, she rules the roost, you know, but he's just given up. And so now we're looking at what is the honor to yourself as opposed to the honor to society or the honor to old ancestral beliefs. If you are honoring yourself as a human being, then what you would probably most likely choose would be your own self, your own happiness, and your own self of fulfillment and self worth. And you can still become a provider and a protector for the woman that you have left if you choose to, or she can be free to find someone else to provide and protect for her, or she may choose to do it herself if that's the case. Especially in our society today, it's a lot easier for women to be providers and protectors in their own lives without having to rely on men. Now, this gets into cultural things also and age, so in generations and culture. So, again, my answer to you
Absolutely
is
right. Yeah.
yeah, my answer to you now would be you have a couple of choices. Will you honor your history and your historical culture and live your life bound by the rules and the dictates and the mandates of the culture, or will you live your life based on honoring yourself? If you choose to honor yourself, you will leave your marriage and you will, you know, send them love and provide for them and let them go their way and set them free. If you choose to live by the other constraints, then you'll have to pay the price. And if you want to have two families, that's up to you. Okay. As long as you know what I mean, like I'm not going to tell you how to live your life. All right.
Yeah,
And you wouldn't be the first.
I
Okay.
am.
Hmm. Right.
Yeah,
But I'm
I'm
just,
no.
yes.
Yeah,
Oh, I was
I'm
just going to
saying
say,
that
we're
I'm
talking.
just.
Mhm.
Nah,
Oh, I'm not
I'm
even talking about
staying
you
with her
personally.
from more than. Is my voice is clear?
Oh, yes. I said I wasn't, this isn't even
I'm.
directed at you personally, Sation. This is just a dilemma for so many people that experience this in life, you know?
Yes, everyone is facing, but some only few of come forward and tell their truth, and I'm one of them who come forward. I'm one more thing I want to ask you. I'm just issue with because I just not want to do anything wrong with her. In myself, I don't want to put my uh, self down in front of myself. So I hurt someone. That only reason I'm staying with her for so long without any mm,
I get it.
personal thing. I mean,
So here's the
so
other
but
thing. Yeah. So here's what I'm going to say. You can never hurt. And then I'm going to go back to, I'm going to have to disconnect you in a few minutes because I have to come up with another, I have to start talking about something else. But what I do want to say to you over
okay.
here, Station, is that um, you are, oh, geez, by staying, if you can, if you can find a way in your own personal way so that you're not always grappling with the guilt about this, and not honoring yourself, okay, then this can work. But in most cases, she's not going to be. Here's the thing: we can never hurt another person. We can only speak. We
Yes.
can only do, oh, sure, we can hurt somebody by cutting them up physically, or physically abusing them in a physical sense. But in emotional sense, people allow these stories that they allow these stories to run their life. Just because someone no longer loves you does not mean that they don't love you. That's just what's so. It's a what's so. It is not the end of the world. It is a what so. It's just that's what it is. The sky is blue today.
Okay.
The sun is shining. They stopped loving me. Okay,
Thank you.
now what?
Thank you so much for your putting your light. I just gave you a one example with
Thank you. Thank you.
and so everyone should listen it and have some. Always, it's a life. Anyone can face this situation, but
Absolutely, absolutely.
mm,
Thank you so much for contributing.
mm,
And I'm wishing you happy new year, and I hope you join us again next week, but I'm going to go finish off today's
thank you.
topic. All right. Okay, thank you. Thank you. All right. Okay, bye. Bye. And so that was just great. And and Sation has a lot of really valid points. People think if I speak my truth, I'm going to hurt their feelings. You know what? No, no, you cannot hurt. You cannot be responsible for the way that other people interpret that. If their feelings are hurt, that's a story they're telling themselves. It's the old thing, just take, for example, you call, let's say you make a phone call and you call X and they don't answer. And then they don't answer again, and you call them again. And now you've called them 3 times and they still haven't responded. Okay, guess what has happened for you? You're going to come up with some kind of a story. Perhaps you'll tell yourself, oh, they're angry at me. Oh, they stopped talking to me. I did something wrong. You're going to take them not responding, they're not responding, you are going to turn that into something about you because you're human. And we all think that the world revolves around just us. But in the meantime, X may have gone on a trip and not told you. X may have lost their phone. X may be in the hospital. There are so many other potential possibilities of what happened to X, but you don't know them. So you're over here creating all kinds of stories, perhaps even creating anxiety for yourself over why they haven't responded to you. Then they call you in 4 days and say, hey, you know what happened? My phone broke. I didn't have access. I didn't know you called. So sorry, I haven't been able to communicate with you. Huh, okay. Again, so we do this. We cannot take on the responsibility of hurting other people. So getting back to RC's questions about what can I do to find my voice, it's real simple. The way to find your voice is to actually decide what it is that you want to say. Take 3 deep breaths or 5. Take as many deep breaths as you need to take, and then you speak your truth. and then you just let it be. And those words are going to fall out where they fall out. Now, when you do speak your truth, you want to be in integrity with yourself. Okay, so you're looking at because you gave me no reference over here, RC, with what kind of truth you want to be speaking and finding your voice. So again, if you're looking to find your voice publicly, just go do it. Just speak your truth. You know, you're going to find people who love you. You're going to find people who hate you. You're going to find people who love and hate you, whatever. If you're looking to speak up politically, be prepared that you're going to get shot down. You may even get assassinated. But it's so important right now that we begin to speak up and speak our truth, especially with everything that is going on, because we are being brought right back into our look. We've always been there, but it's never been more obvious right now that we are looking at tribal leaders. You want to call them big tech. These are our tribal leaders, and that we are being shut down in our speaking our truth. We're being censored. We're being monitored. We're being put out of business. Small stores are being put out of business. Small shops, everything. People are losing their jobs. Only there are some people who are becoming more and more wealthier during this point. And these are mostly the large, let's call them tribal leaders. And in the meantime, what it looks as if we are moving into, and I really don't, that's why I'm saying it's really important right now to be speaking your truth. Everyone needs to speak their truth, because if millions of people were speaking their truth right now, we would not be in a situation where we are looking at tribal leaders dictating to us everything that we're doing, where we're spending our money, what our currency is going to look like, whether we can be using cash or not when we go into shops. Do you see what's happening? Please, please take a look and just pay attention to what's going on, because when you're not speaking your truth, you are succumbing to another person's will. And is that how you want to live your life? So when you speak your truth, it will set you free physically, and it will set you free mentally. And again, depending on how large a player you want to be speaking your truth, you may have to run into the chance that you may be taken out if you're working in terms of political or anything against the larger tribal leaders. Okay. But if you're talking about a day to day reaction and relationship, then by all means, just take a breath. There's nothing it's in your programming not to be able to speak. Okay. So it's not like you have to take courses on speaking your truth. You just got to speak and realize that people are not going to like what you say. And some people will, and some people won't. Wow, we have, thank you, thank you, thank you. We have quite a number of people that have entered the room today. So does anybody have any questions or comments? Because I have done a lot of speaking. And again, I want you to keep your eyes open and to take a look at what is happening so that you do begin to speak your truth. The more people that speak their truths, the easier it will become for us to continue thriving in our society. Again, we have seen really glorious days where the internet has given us a lot of opportunity to speak our truth, to be heard, and to really gain control and have our world look more and more the way that a democracy and even a democracy is to be run. So we have to be careful that we do not resort back to our old historic programming of leader and hey, what? Slaves? Sorry. Leader and obedient. So teacher and obedient. Okay, because that's the way that we've been raised. It is embedded in our language and in our culture, in our society, and in our history. Do not speak up against the authority figure. This is not necessarily natural. This is how we have been conditioned for centuries. So anyway, breaking this pattern is going to be tough. Just know that you won't die unless you're really a unless you're really going politically after some, you're really going openly politically out there. Otherwise, this won't kill you. It'll just make you stronger. Okay, and with that today, just prepare yourselves for speaking up, getting the truth out there, joining with people who are speaking their truths. Great time to find out who is speaking their truth and get on board. And in the meantime, if you're having challenges in your personal relationships with people, speak your truth. If they choose to cut you off, you'll find that you're going to gain so much more energy from that hole being filled. When you cut off a dead limb on a tree, all of the other limbs grow back so much stronger. Okay, and with that, it has been my ultimate pleasure being with you today. I love you all. Happy New Year. Go forth, people. Speak your truth. Don't let anybody cut you down. All right, take care. Bye.